हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एंथुजियास्ट लर्निंग। आज हम करेंगे चैप्टर 1 मैटर इन आवर सराउंडिंग्स के ऑल इन टेक्स्ट क्वेश्चंस।
पहले हम करेंगे इन टेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, सारे क्वेश्चंस के साथ आंसर्स भी हैं साथ में। सो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर मैटर? चेयर, एयर, लव, स्मेल, हेट, आलमंड्स, थॉट, कोल्ड ड्रिंक, स्मेल ऑफ परफ्यूम। So first, matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Items that are matter: chair, air, almonds, cold drink. Items that are not matter: love, smell, hate, thought, cold, smell of perfume. These all are feelings and emotions. They have no mass or volume. So now is the second question. Give reasons for the following observations. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but to get the smell from cold food, you have to go close to it. So this is because hot food has higher temperature, so its particles have more kinetic energy. So these particles move faster and diffuse over a large area, allowing the smell to travel several meters away. But cold food has particles which have less kinetic energy, so they move slowly and smell does not diffuse. So we must be close to detect it. So now third question. A diver is able to cut through water in a swimming pool. Which property of matter does this observation show? So this observation shows that water has very little intermolecular force of attraction compared to solid, and its particles can move past each other easily. Thus the diver can cut through water. This is because the particles of water are not rigidly held in fixed position. This demonstrates the fluidity and comparatively lower intermolecular attraction in liquids. Now fourth question. What are the characteristics of particles of matter? The characteristics of particles of matter are: first, particles of matter are very small in size. Second, particles of matter have spaces between them. Third, particles of matter are continuously moving, meaning they have kinetic energy. Fourth, particles of matter attract each other, having intermolecular force of attraction. Next is question number 5. The mass per unit volume of substance is called density. Density is mass per volume. Arrange the following in order of increasing density: air, exhaust from chimney, honey, water, chalk, cotton and iron. So the increasing order of density. First is iron, next chalk, honey, water, cotton, exhaust from chimneys, and air has the least density. This is because gases have very low density. Liquids are denser than gases, and solids like iron and chalk are denser than liquids. Honey is denser than water. It is because due to its composition. Now question number 6, part A. Tabulate the differences in characteristics of state of matter. First one is shape. Solid has definite shape. Liquid has no definite shape, but it takes the shape of the container. Gas also has no definite shape. Now volume. Solid has definite volume. Liquid also has definite volume, but gases have no definite volume. Now particle arrangement. Solids are very closely packed, liquids are less closely packed, and gases are packed very far apart. Now forces of attraction. Solids have very strong forces of attraction, liquid is intermediate between solid and gas, and gases have very weak force of attraction. Now movement of particles. In solid, particles vibrate at fixed position. Liquids, particles move freely but less than gases. But in gas, particles move very freely and rapidly. Now compressibility. Solids have very low compressibility. Liquids have very little compressibility, and gases have very high compressibility. Now question number 6, part B. Comment upon the following. Rigidity. So first, rigidity is the property by which a substance maintains its shape when an external force is applied. Solids are rigid because their particles are tightly packed. Next is the compressibility. Now matter has spaces between its particles. When an external force is applied, these particles can be brought closer, and this is called compressibility. Gases are highly compressible while liquids are slightly compressible. Next is the fluidity. So fluidity is the ability of particles to flow. Liquids and gases can flow, so they are called fluids. Now filling a gas container. Filling of gas container. Gas particles move randomly in all directions. Because of this continuous motion, gases spread easily and fill the entire container in which they are kept. Now shape. Solids have strong intermolecular forces, so they have a definite shape. Now kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by particles due to their motion. So gas particles move very fast and randomly. So gases have the highest kinetic energy. Now last is the density. Density is defined as mass per unit volume. Solids generally have the highest density, followed by liquids, while gases have the lowest density. Now question number 7. Give reason why gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. This is because gas particles have very high kinetic energy and move randomly in all directions. So they fill the entire container. Next is gas exerts pressure on the walls of container. So gas particles move rapidly and collide with the walls of the container, which exerts pressure on them. Now a wooden table should be called a solid. A wooden table is rigid, has definite shape, has definite volume, and its particles are also closely packed. So it has all the properties of solid. Now D part. We can easily move our hand through air, but to do the same thing through a solid block of wood we need a karate expert. This is because air particles are far apart with almost no intermolecular force. So the hand moves freely and easily. In wood, the particles are tightly packed with strong forces. So much more force is needed. Now question number 8 for in-text question. Liquids generally have lower density as compared to solids. But you must have observed that ice floats on water. Find out why. Ice floats on water because ice has lower density than liquid water. This is because when water freezes into ice, it forms a hexagonal crystalline structure with hydrogen bonds, which creates empty spaces within the structure. This makes ice less dense than the water. Since ice is less dense than the water, it floats on the surface. Remember, this is an exceptional property of water. Now question number 9. Convert the following temperatures to Celsius scale. 300 Kelvin. So the formula is Celsius is equals to Kelvin minus 273. So 300 Kelvin. So 300 minus 273 is 27. Same for 573 Kelvin. 573 minus 273 is equals to 300 degrees Celsius. Now question number 10. What is the physical state of water at 250 degrees Celsius? At 250 degrees Celsius, water physical state is gas, and at 100 degrees Celsius, it has two states, liquid as well as gas. Now question number 11. For any substance, why does the temperature remain constant during the change of state? During the change of state, heat is supplied to a substance. This heat is used by particles to overcome the forces of attraction between them. So, during this process, the temperature of the substance remains constant. So, the heat absorbed by the particles does not increase the temperature but helps in changing the state of matter. So, this hidden heat is called the latent heat, which allows the substance to change from one state to another. Now question number 12. Suggest a method to liquefy the atmospheric gas. Now the atmospheric gases are taken in cylinder with a piston. By cooling and applying pressure on them, the gases can be liquefied. Now question number 13. Why does a desert cooler cool better on a hot dry day? The outer walls of the cooler get sprinkled by water continuously. This water evaporates due to the hot dry weather. So evaporation causes cooling of inside air. So this cool air is sent in the room by the fan. So that is why desert cooler cool better on a hot dry day. Now question number 14. How does the water kept in an earthen pot become cool during summer? An earthen pot has many tiny pores. Water slowly seeps through these pores and evaporates from the surface. So during evaporation, heat is absorbed, which produces a cooling effect, making the pot and the water inside cool. Now question number 15. Why does our palm feel cold when we put some acetone or petrol or perfume on it? So acetone, petrol or perfume evaporate when they come into contact with air. So the evaporation causes cooling sensation in our hands. Now question number 16. Why are we able to sip hot tea or milk faster from a saucer rather than a cup? Tea in saucer has larger surface area than in a cup. A larger surface area increases the rate of evaporation, which causes the tea to cool faster. Therefore, the tea cools quicker in a saucer than a cup. Now question number 17. What type of clothes should we wear in summer? So we should wear very light colored cotton clothes because light color reflects the heat. Cotton has pores that absorb sweat. कॉटन में पोर होते हैं जो कि स्वेट को एब्जॉर्ब करता है और अलाउ करता है ताकि वो इवेपोरेट हो सके.
इसी के साथ मैटर इन आवर सराउंडिंग्स के ऑल इंटेक्स्ट क्वेश्चंस ख़त्म होते हैं. इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लो ताकि NCERT क्वेश्चंस मिस ना हो. थैंक यू.